For step one, you're going to hem the sides and bottom of your wall hanger. You'll get a piece of fabric that looks like this. It is in a rectangle shape. Just remember that the skinny sides are the top and bottom of the hanger. The wider sides are the sides. So whichever side you decide to be the top, it doesn't matter if it's this end or this end, leave it alone. The rest of the sides, you're going to press to the wrong side, and you're going to use your seam gauge to do that. I've got mine set to 1.5 centimeters, so I just slid my little measuring device to the 1.5 centimeter mark, leave it there, and then I'm going to go ahead and fold over my side edges and also my bottom edge and press them at 1.5 centimeters. So I'll move this over. The first thing I'll do is I'll sort of roughly guess, and then I'll check with my seam gauge to make sure that I've got it at 1.5. When I have it at 1.5, I'll do what's called finger pressing. I'll kind of push on it with my fingers to keep it in place. And then after I have finger pressed it, I will bring the iron over. So check to make sure it's 1.5, end to end, finger press. Take the iron. Remember, your other hand stays away from the iron. The hand that is using the iron holds it. Once you have the iron down on your fabric, give it a quick flash of steam to keep that in place. Now you can turn this and fold up the bottom the same amount again. Take a guess. Check to make sure that your guess was good. If it looks good, finger press. And press it down. You'll do the same for the last side. Check. Make sure that it's 1.5. Press with your fingers, and then press with the iron. Once you're done, you will have 3 sides that are pressed. So there's one side, there's the bottom, this is the other side, and this will become the top of your wall hanging, so that will stay flat for now. To sew my first seams, I need to remember a few things. First, check that your machine is set for regular sewing. Looking at your settings at the top of the machine, it should have a number 1, which is a straight stitch. Then go ahead, line up the fabric underneath the foot. Make sure that the needle, when it goes down, will actually go into the fabric. The first thing I need to remember is the golden rule. Put the foot down when you sew. I reach in behind the machine here and lower my presser foot. I can see that the needle will hit the fabric. Before I start, I want to make sure that my needle is lined up with that edge of the serging. That's that thread that is on the edge of the fabric. Ready to go. I'm going to give it a little gas, go forward a few stitches, stop, and then I need to remember to reverse. Press on the reverse button. Sew backwards to the end of the fabric. Don't go off the edge of the fabric. And sew forward to the opposite end. Always remembering to stay on the edge of that serging. That's my guide. If it feels awkward or the fabric is starting to bunch up, just stop sewing, straighten your fabric, and then continue. When I get close to the end, I can see that my bottom is folded up because that's my bottom hem. I'm going to sew through all of those layers till I reach the edge of the fabric. Go slowly when you get close to the end. Make sure your needle is down. Go ahead and reverse and go forward a few stitches to finish. When finished, lift the foot and pull on your threads. If it doesn't come easily, turn your hand wheel towards you To release the tension, cut your threads, and you've done your first seam. You will do the same seam on the opposite side of your bag. You can start from the other side. You can simply roll up this extra fabric so it's out of your way. Line this up, again, aiming for the edge of the serging. Foot down, forward a few, reverse a few, forward to the end. Stop anytime you feel like it's not going where you want. Try to keep your eye on that needle going into the edge of the serging. When I get close to the end, I can see this. I don't want this to unfold. I'm going to keep it up and folded like this. I'm going to go all the way to the very end. If it tries to unfold, just stop. Make sure your needle is down. And if it's popping out, push it under, put the foot back down to keep it in place. Go to the end. Reverse, and then forward a few. Lift your foot, pull gently, and cut your threads really close. Don't forget to trim your starting threads also. Always get rid of all of your long dangling threads. The last step in finishing your hems is to do the bottom. So we've pressed this, but we haven't sewn this yet. So now we're going to finish. Again, start from the end. You can see where the serging is. Kind of guess where you should start that lines up with that serging. Put your foot down. You can start by rolling your needle down, go forward a few, again reverse, and go forward to the end, staying on that serging line. As you reach the end, slow down a little bit. Try to go to the very end if you can. Even slowing down, rolling the hand wheel, reverse, forward a few, and lift. If it doesn't come easily, just turn the wheel a little bit as you pull, and it will release the thread and allow it to pull freely. You have now hemmed the sides and the bottom of your wall hanger.